In kingdom Monera, there are bacteria-like organisms also, which cannot be strictly called bacteria, but uh, they have many characters which are similar to that of bacteria, but other characters too, which are different from the characters of bacteria. However, such an example is Spirocheta. Spirocheta, free living, maybe free living or parasitic or commensal. No shell wall is present. Uh, no shell wall is present. In case of bacteria, it is a cell wall which is composed of muramic acid. Besides protein, chitin, hemicellulose, and other uh, sugar-like substances may be present there, and the main characteristic of all the animals under the kingdom Monera is the absence of nucleus. There is no nucleus, what the name, just a nucleic acid is present, suspended in the cytoplasmic material. The nucleic acid is DNA. That is that you may call it primordial nucleus or nucleoid that remains suspended in the cytoplasm, which is a jelly-like substance. And in cytoplasm, bacterial cytoplasm, there is no membrane-bound cell organelle. And the plasma membrane is present just below the shell wall, and the plasma membrane infuses into the cytoplasm to form mesosome. And another major difference between the prokaryotes and eukaryotes is the presence of 70S ribosome in the cytoplasm in prokaryotes. So many bacteria are there, you will learn from your book. I am not going into detail of them. Now, actinomycetes. These are cylindrical cells that resemble like a fungus, like the body of a fungus. It looks like a mycelium of a fungus. Hence, some call them as intermediate between bacteria and fungus. But they have resemblance with fungi, and therefore they are considered to be a higher category of bacteria. Habitat is aquatic. They may also live in milk, fertilizers, in soil, in different food materials, and some are parasites, and some can produce antibiotics, such as Streptomyces griseus, Streptomyces orficiens, etc. And chromatin granules are present in this type of actinomycetes, and segmentation, conidia formation, spore formation are the asexual modes of reproduction. Then mycoplasma. These are these organisms have no cell wall, but a bacteria has a cell wall, so they have some difference. They are first detected from the cattle suffering from pleuropneumonia. Hence, they are called pneumonia-like organism, that is PPLO. So, mycoplasma are also called PPLO. Mind it. And their body sometimes changes the shape, and they are all gram negative, and asexual mode of reproduction is present. Example: Mycoplasma mycoides, Mycoplasma pneumoniae, Mycoplasma orale, etc. And then another type of prokaryote, that is Rickettsia, fully parasitic, bacteria-like organisms, first detected by Howard Taylor Ricketts, when he was studying Rocky Mountain spotted fever. And in 1916, Rocha da Lima gave it the name Rickettsia. They live inside the body of different, inside the alimentary canal of different arthropods like lice and different flies, etc. They are totally completely parasitic, and hence some call them as intermediate between bacteria and virus. In their infection causes typhus fever. They are all gram negative, and though they have shell wall, but they are devoid of flagella, pili and capsule. And they are pleuromorphic, that means they have different shape and size in different stages of the life. And binary fission is the mode of their reproduction. Example: Rickettsia typhi, Rickettsia rickettsii, Rickettsia proazeki, etc. So, these are the different types of monera, and you must study them. Every day I will try to give you different classes of biology, and today I shall also finish Protista or Protoctista. Protista, unicellular algae and fungi are excluded from this group, from this kingdom. All other unicellular eukaryotes are included in the kingdom Protista. This is also called Protoctista. This kingdom was first introduced by 1866 by Ernest Haeckel, and at that time he included in this kingdom bacteria, algae, fungi, etc. However, at the later stage, the unicellular algae and fungi have been excluded, and these organisms belonging to the Protista group, Protista kingdom, They are all well nucleated, well organized. They have all well organized nucleus. That means nucleus has four parts: nuclear membrane, inside it the nucleoplasm, and the chromatin network, and the nucleolus. There are four parts. They are all unicellular eukaryotic cells with well organized nucleus, and the chromatin reticulum transforms into chromosomes during cell division. They may have cilia or flagella. Sexual or asexual modes of reproduction are their characteristic. Three different types of eukaryotes comprise this group. One is photosynthesizing protista algae, and the second is the protozoans, and the third is the slime molds. Unicellular algae have a number of phyla: Euglenophyta, Pyrophyta, Chrysophyta, Chlorophyta, Phaeophyta, and Rhodophyta. And the protozoa have four phyla: Sarcodina, Mastigophora or Flagellata, Ciliata or Ciliophora, and Sporozoa. And slime molds have only one phylum, that is Myxomycota. Now let us enter into our discussion. First, unicellular algal group. They have all chloroplastids, and they remain floating in aquatic environment, and those who have flagella can move from one place to another in the water bodies. They may remain singularly or form colony, and inside their cells there is a pyrenoid grain in which carbohydrates remain stored. And I have told you that they are divided into 6 phyla. The first one is the Euglenophyta. You have heard the name of Euglena. If you can remember Euglena, therefrom you can derive the characters. These unicellular organisms are considered to have the characters of plants and animals, combined characters. They have no shell wall but a covering of pellicle, and their chloroplast contains photosynthesizing pigments: chlorophyll A, chlorophyll B, beta carotene, xanthophyll, and they have 1 to 3 flagella for their movement. Then Pyrophyta. The cell wall of pyrophytes are made up of cellulose or non-cellulose chemicals, and they have chlorophyll A, chlorophyll C, beta carotene, fucoxanthin, dinoxanthin, or peridenine, etc., as their photosynthesizing pigment. And they have two flagella. Different types of dinoflagellates. Di means dui. Dinoflagellates such as Gonialax, Gymnodinium, Glinodium. These are the examples of Pyrophyta. I am trying to collect pictures of these organisms and give you one or two. Then Chrysophyta, they are also eukaryotes. All these animals are eukaryotes, unicellular eukaryotes. In Chrysophyta, they have cell wall made up of cellulose, silica and calcium carbonate. And chlorophyll A, chlorophyll C, carotene, xanthophyll and diatomine as their photosynthetic pigments. Presence of diatomine. Example, different types of diatoms such as triceratium, Triceratium, Pinularia, Navicula, etc. These are called diatoms. Then Chlorophyta. They can form colony. Flagella may be present. If present, 2 or 4 flagella present. Pinoid grains are present in chloroplastid. Photosynthesizing pigments are chlorophyll A, chlorophyll B and carotenoids. Example, Chlamydomonas, Volvox globator. Volvox colony is called Cynorium, etc. And Phaeophyta, these eukaryotic organisms are apparently multicellular, and the cells are covered with cell wall and bilayered cell wall. Mannitol and laminarin are the stored food products in the cell. Stored foods are named mannitol and laminarin. So you can notice that while discussing different phyla, they have some characteristic features by which we can identify them. The Phaeophyta have mannitol and laminarin inside their body as stored food. And they have chlorophyll also, and along with chlorophyll they have also diatoxanthine and xanthophyll. And they have chromoplastids. Example, Ectocarpus, Fucus, etc. Then Rhodophyta. They form thallus, multicellular thallus, unbranched or complex branched. And their stored food in the cell is Floridian carbohydrate or Floridoside carbohydrate. And in addition to chlorophyll, they have phycoerythrin in their chromoplastid, the color of which is red, and therefore they are called red alga. Polysiphonia, Gelidium, etc. are the examples of this phylum. And lastly, regarding protozoa, we know many things about protozoa. They are unicellular microscopic organisms, and the body is covered with plasma membrane, and Shell organelles are different shell organelles covered by membrane. Membrane bound cell organelles are present inside the cytoplasm. They may have pseudopod, flagella or cilia as their locomotory organs. They may be free-living ectoparasites or endoparasites. Inside their body there is a contractile vacuole. There are food vacuoles, excretory vacuoles, water vacuoles, etc. Sexual and asexual modes of reproduction are present, and there is alternation of generation in their life cycle. And this protozoa group is divided into 4 phyla. One is Sarcodina, the locomotory organ of which is pseudopod. They are free living and asexual mode of reproduction is there. Example, amoeba proteus, polystomata, etc. You know the animal Sarcodina. Then Mastiophora or flagellata. They are flagella, so they are flagellata. Endoparasites, Giardia intestinalis, Trypanosoma gambians, etc. are the examples. Asexual mode of reproduction they have. Then ciliata, that means their body is covered with cilia, which is their locomotory organ. They are free-living or endoparasites. They are free-living or parasites, and inside their shell there are more than one nucleus. Example, a glaring example is Paramecium. Another example, Vorticella. Then Sporozoa. No locomotory organ is present. If present, that is called myonim fiber. The conjugation is their mode of sexual reproduction. They are endoparasites. Example, Monocystis, Plasmodium vivax, etc. And another peculiar type of protista is slime molds. Their vegetative body or thallus has no cell wall, and cytoplasm contains many nucleus, and the thallus, that I call thallus or vegetative body, it has no definite shape. It looks like amoeba. The body of amoeba has no definite shape. Hence this organism is called Plasmodium. There is no chlorophyll inside the body. Their nutrition is saprophytic nutrition. Pseudopods are their locomotory organs. They live in damp areas. Asexual mode of reproduction, fragmentation, spore formation, etc. are their modes of reproduction. And in case of sexual reproduction, 2 zoospores are produced which unite to form a zygote. Example, Plasmodium, Stamonites, Dictyostelium, etc. So this is much about protista that is included in your syllabus. Now I will try to give you some figures that you can understand every branch well. In the next class we shall go on with this chapter.